Welcome to KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Nicole Hernandez. We want to start with this afternoon with breaking news. We just learned that the child that was attacked by a dog last night did die. We just got an update from the Spokane Police Department about this. This happened in North Spokane near East Walton in North Nevada last night. SPD says this was the family's dog. It was an isolated incident within a home, not connected at all to trick-or-treating or Halloween. SPD says the family tried to pull the dog off the child during the attack, and later police did euthanize that dog at the scene because of the dog's injuries as well. According to investigators, AMR did take the child to the hospital late last night, but ultimately they died of their injuries. Spokane Police Major Crimes Unit is still investigating this attack. At this point, we still don't know how old that child is, and we will continue to bring you more details coming up on KREM 2 News at 4 and on KREM.com. Well, good news for drivers this afternoon. Work on the Maple Street Bridge is ahead of schedule. The city of Spokane sent out a new schedule late last night. All northbound lanes closed at 6 this morning and will stay closed for another hour until 1 this afternoon. Then at 1 lane will reopen. All southbound lanes will then close at 1 and stay closed until 6 p.m. Then at 6, 1 southbound lane will reopen. It's all a lot, but ultimately the city says all this means construction should wrap up sooner than expected. And we are just at 12:02 now here, and we do want to get to meteorologist Thomas Patrick because, Thomas, it is now the day after Halloween, and you've been promising us some moisture. So what's going on there?
Yeah, that is going to be arriving in about 10 to 12 hours here, Nicole, as this will be the first rainfall event of a series of storms that will parade through the northwest. So the cloudy skies are already here. The moisture will follow suit shortly. As we look at the hour-by-hour forecast, the model picks up on that rainfall between about 10 p.m. and midnight tonight, and it's the early morning hours for Thursday that look the wettest within the next 24 or 48 hours. And here's our storm. I mentioned atmospheric river. That's the type of weather system we have. You can see in the cloud cover that the storm has picked up moisture from the Pacific Ocean. It's aimed right at the northwest and is going to barrel through Oregon and Washington in the next 24 hours. Us on the east side of that, we just have to wait till, again, about midnight for the rain to begin. And that's just the first of what could be 3 or 4 storm systems off that same weather pattern that continue to hit the northwest. So we're tracking just how much rain is in the forecast over these next 7 days.
Spokan Valley fire officials say a cigarette likely started the fire that killed 2 children in Millwood on Monday. Investigators say it started outside the house by the front porch. They say someone did not put the cigarette out correctly and it landed in something flammable. The fire spread outside the house before then starting to spread inside. The fire killed 2 young boys who were just 7 and 9 years old.
It's incomprehensible when you have to go to a child that has died. And in this case, it was multiple deaths. So we're hurting, and we ask that you continue to pray for us.
Spokan Valley Fire also told us that cigarette fires are really not that uncommon this time of year. They do want to remind people it's important to always put cigarettes out correctly and make sure your family has an escape plan to get out in case of a fire. The Spokan Valley Fire Department says they are done with their investigation into that fire now. Today, FBI investigators are back at the Moscow home where 4 University of Idaho students were killed nearly 1 year ago. They were there yesterday and they will be back today as well. They're collecting data to build a model of the home. They flew a drone over the house yesterday morning. It looked like they were getting pictures with a 3D scanning technology. Idaho's former state attorney general thinks they'll likely use this for suspect Brian Koberger's trial.
In this instance, it appears that the prosecutor is going to put some significant emphasis by virtue of a model and videos in terms of helping the jury understand how an alleged perpetrator might have moved through the house to get in, to go to whatever is alleged to be the first crime scene, to pass then to the second crime scene.
The university now owns the house and is planning to demolish it sometime after this semester. The judge in the case has not set a trial date yet. There is a status hearing for the case tomorrow so the prosecution and defense can go over some DNA evidence. Now, earlier yesterday, the attorney for Xana Kernodle's and Kaylee Consalvas' family sent us a statement about the university demolishing the house. They said in part, quote, "The King Road house is one of the most critical pieces of evidence in this case. We are grateful that the University of Idaho listened to the family's concerns and delayed the demolition of the home." Well, 4 local Native tribes are hosting a summit on missing and murdered Indigenous women and people at Northern Quest Casino today. The Kalispel, Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, and Confederated Tribes of Colville Reservation are hosting the event with a Washington State task force. There will be speakers, panel discussions, and a family healing circle for families and survivors. The event started live streaming this morning, and you can find a link to that stream on our website, KREM.com. Well, with less than a week until Election Day, many residents still have questions about items on this year's ballot. So KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones looked into Measure 1, which could affect the Spokane County Jail.
Yeah, that's right. And right now we're outside of the Spokane County Jail because that's what Measure 1 is focusing on. Measure 1 is a law and justice proposal. So we're looking into that and breaking down what exactly that means. So if approved, the measure would increase sales tax by 0.2%, allowing the county to use its portion and expand the downtown jail. Geiger Correction Center would close and inmates would be moved into a new jail building. According to the Measure 1 website, the sales tax revenue to the county would also be used for expanded programming. As for what that involves, the site lists out inmate treatment programs, skill training, behavioral health, release services, and therapeutic case management. There are some people, however, who are opposed to this measure. For example, City Council member Zach Sapone says he is against the measure. He says it would provide a blank check, not knowing if there is a sufficient plan on how the money would be spent. So of course, with that election day inching closer, coming next Tuesday, you can always reach out to us at KREM 2 if you have any questions about the items on the ballot. And then also you can go to our website as well to find more details about items like Measure 1. But for now, reporting downtown, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
So if you want more information about the race's candidates, measures, and propositions, or really anything on the ballot in Spokane County, we've got you covered. You can text the word VOTE to 509-448-2000. We'll text you a link to our comprehensive voter's guide. You'll find everything you need to know before casting your ballot on that guide.